Where to start? Okay, my name's Chaka Nyatando. Actually, Chaka Chadza Nyatando. That's my full name. I come from Zambia. My profession, I've got two professions. One, I'm a research manager for a company called BHRC in Zambia. It's a human resource company. Basically involved with psychometric assessments and HR consultancy. I'm also a musician and a youth ambassador back home. I started rapping. Okay, I don't only rap, I also sing, but back home I'm known for rap, hip hop. But I started hip hop when I was about 14 years old. How I got people got familiar with my music back then is there was a battle at a cafe called Tinegua's. It was basically a rap battle. It was a rap battle. So people from different neighborhoods and different provinces or states, as you would call them here, would come and have to challenge the champion of that battle. And at the time, I was the youngest person to be in the competition, and I ended up champion of that year. That's how I started. I knew I could rap, but I didn't know it was that good. And sort of that stage, that platform, sort of made me realize that, hey, maybe I'm good at this, and I took it seriously. So after that, I went for my studies in South Africa. I continued with the music there. I was working with different producers there. There's Sheezy, obviously some of you know this Dummy Duro song and all that. The person who produced that was one of my producers. I worked with, I was signed to a Nigerian label called Bravo Records, who were starting out at the time and are still existing and still coming up. But I left because I believed I had another vision for myself, not aligned with the vision they had. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, I've had the opportunity to perform. I was invited to what's called the Onkweni Music Festival, which is the Zulu King, Africa Zulu. There's a big festival that happens. I was one of the first hip hop. Not one of. I was the first hip hop artist who was invited because I've been very active in Zambia, sort of pushing a message of identity. I have this theory that we sort of tend to have adopted identities or identities that are not our own, and that we need to begin to build our own identity as Africans. Just like a facial features or anything, you can't have the same face, you can't have the same uniform characters, or life becomes boring and it doesn't become interesting. So that's the message. I was invited there. I was invited to Nigeria for Civic in Benin. I performed there as well. And then the president of Zambia, after that, the president of Zambia endorsed me as a youth ambassador to speak about certain things through music. It was the first time that music was used by the president to speak out about something that he felt was basically wanted to speak about certain things like the women. There's something called the Women and Youth Empowerment Fund. Basically, that's money that's accessible. The youth can access this money in Zambia, and they can use that money to begin projects that without any collateral. For example, obviously, us youth don't have collateral, so youth had access to that money. They were talking about the Kwame Nkrumah University, which was a new university. So through song, I had to make it entertaining or more interesting to listen to, package it in a way that it will hit a certain stimulus for them to be able to digest that information. So yeah, so later on, I started a company called Lota House. Lota House, Lota meaning dream in my language. So basically, House of Dreamers. Basically, what I wanted with Lota House, it's a creative incubator. Basically, I gather up individuals who understand their calling. So whether you are a graffiti artist, whatever, if you are a ballet artist, if you are a dancer, if you are a fashion person, whatever you are, we integrate these cultures together, and what happens is we have events. So for example, we are trying to push an African culture. So if, I'll just give an example. When we have an event, the food that is being eaten at the event is African food, but we package it in a it's very, very nice food. So we have African food. We suggest that everyone should come dressed in at least an African, whether it's accessory, but still maintain the swag, if you put it. Still maintain the swag, but keep African elements in it. Strictly play only African music. But yeah, and that's one of the things that we do, but encouraging the quality of it to be of a very, very high standard. So what we did also is with the DJs, we created a body with the Zambian DJs, because what we believe at Lota House is that music is a very powerful medium, and the medium really, if there's sort of a theory that I live by, if you want to see the intelligence or want to understand the culture of a people, look at their media. If their media doesn't have, how can I explain it, but there are certain attributes of their media that you can evidently see that this is the status quo of the population. So what we try to do is that with the DJs, we created an agreement with the DJs that music that is destructive to youth, basically hip hop or whatever it may be, R&B, hip hop that is destructive to youth, that is misogynistic or is talking about anything that is not elevating to youth, we banned it from radio. If your song is not of quality and you just produce it in 5 minutes and decide to take it, because what was happening radio was really, there was just a whole bunch, my brother's got a song, I get it, I play it on radio. But now there's that regulation and censorship now. So yeah, now that's what I'm doing. Under Lota House, I've got 5 artists who are officially signed as Lota House artists. And yeah, I think that's pretty much.